I will say this. I think that 9/11 had a tremendous impact on St. Thomas Academy for a couple different reasons. Number one, we were in school that day. We stopped school and we gathered together in communities, right? Not in, there were middle schoolers watching televisions with seniors and we were with teachers. We were all together. And we watched that day unfold together. It was a very big bonding experience. The decision was made at about 11 o'clock that we were going to end school for the day, and that John Grieving and Bob Slater gathered everybody to the court, and they said, you can stay here if you do not have a ride home, or you can call your parents. Well, this was at a time when not every kid had a cell phone. Bob Slater told the usually it was the older kids that had cell phones. And he said, raise your hand if you have a cell phone. And all the seniors held up their phones. And he said, I want all of you seniors to help out at least 5 younger guys and help them use your phone to call their parent to come and get picked up. And in the court, all you saw were these big guys with their phone, with these little guys who were calling. It was a very powerful moment. I will never forget it. I will never forget it. And I really think that that was a way in which the boys knew, if they didn't know before that day, that St. Thomas might be a place of community to them, of support to them, and maybe of healing. But it was really cool.
Eighth grade kept on getting bigger and bigger, and our class sizes started. We tried to keep as many kids as we could. And if I'm not mistaken, I thought we had up to 4 or 5 sections of 8th grade.
At St. Thomas Academy, there's always an urge to make things bigger and or better, and so the middle school had robust numbers and still does, and so it was definitely a need to enhance that. So
We had started having some of our classrooms up at the high school because we were expanding some, which was a positive. You see the number of kids that were applying, and even at that time, a lot of grade schools in the St. Paul, Minneapolis area were doing well too. But we started getting more kids coming to St. Thomas again. And then I think of our technology we had to expand some things there, and so that's what the new school was needed. Of course, the upper school was numbers are good, so we needed more space.
it was exciting because we added a beautiful building, with brand new science labs. What now is Mr. Winey and Mr. Meisch's room, that was all art. That whole long corridor, what is now Mr. Meisch's room and Mr. Winey's room, was a new art room. And we had a small art room before, and this greatly enhanced our arts. They built Flint Hall then, though. They redid that again and made even better art rooms in Flint Hall, and then converted that to science. Now we've taken another step, right, and that's all going to be science, ringing the innovation lab. Exciting. I remember there was a kind of a mass benediction blessing, and I could still see Peter Dahlstrom and Christian Polhofer, great alums. They were the altar boys, and so it was exciting. It was brand spanking new. All the teachers, had their own rooms, and it was exciting. So with the addition of the middle school, the old middle school could be converted into more meeting space, more library space, more computer lab space. Those also were pushing that. It wasn't just about the middle school, it was about creating better art space, computer science space, and library space, and meeting space, because the multi-purpose room was built as well. So it met demands more than just the middle school.
Oh yes, especially when I come out here and sub. I see, like you say, all the things are on their iPads and different things, which we never had that before. We were using the textbooks. I was coming out here to sub when kids all open up their iPads and it's just quiet for the next 40 minutes.
you know, there's bringing up, you used to have stacks of, you know, drawers full of VHS tapes, which also was a relatively new thing. Now hardly anybody has VHS and DVD. It's all, you know, you bring up a YouTube clip, you know, it's on demand online, all that kind of stuff. You can show shorter bursts of things. You can look stuff up so much quicker, you know. You have an external brain on that computer that you can access so much more information than you could before. A big change would be the development of things like Schoology and PowerSchool learning management systems for the grade book and for teaching. You know, so when I started in the 90s, everyone had a red grading book, and you just kept your grades in there. And if a student wanted to know his grade, they'd come see you before after class or before after school, and you'd sit down with your grade book and you'd show them, you know, you maybe have to get your calculator out or give them a rough estimate. And there wasn't like this real-time thing. You didn't have parents getting a notification being at work that Johnny just got a C on his math test or something, you know. A lot of changes that way in terms of, you know, communicating homework with students, posting things on homework, accepting homework all electronically, where everything was just analog before. Grades, all that kind of stuff.
When I started in '08, you had the same classes every single day. So you arrived at the same time, you know, went to all your same classes. So you had 6 courses at the same time every day. You ate in the lunchroom with all middle schoolers, ate together, and only middle schoolers in the lunchroom. We did not, we did go up to formation, but it was more like we used the lunchtime for our middle school announcements, that kind of thing. We were probably a little more not as incorporated into the high school routine when I first started here. We did a lot of really fun activities. We went out on the lake. We did broomball out on the lake. We did some really fun homecoming activities that, you know, have just transformed from then to now. But one of the most popular was we used to do a huge water slip and slide down the back hill into the grotto, and we'd always use baby shampoo and pour that on there, and the kids would just fly down that. It was super, super fun. Did have some really fun field trips that they still do today. Valley Fair, the zoo, some of those typical ones.